surprisingly, that response has led us to the next, which is how do you view the recent very racist actions which is trying to divide Malaysia, and how do you view the racial barrier, and how do we go forward to recognize everyone as Malaysians instead of, you know, each of their races?
Well, I mean, I've said, I think we have the raw material for it, okay? But here's the thing, and this is why institutions are so important, okay? If we look at the federal constitution, our rights as a citizen clearly set out there. Nobody can take it away from us. And if everybody would just respect the federal constitution, and I tell you something, the federal constitution itself is a very respectful document. We need to look at it to see how well everybody is treated and how they balance between all citizens, how they talk about the rights of and the role of the various institutions, how they respect the judiciary. The Constitution respects the judiciary. The Constitution respects all institutions. All we need to do is to learn from our federal constitution, not undermine it. When we start undermining any of the institutions, we are undermining the federal constitution. We need to know that. Now, why do I make the point about citizenship? It's because of this. If we respect everyone as a citizen, then no one can come there and say suddenly, oh, in my view, X is a trespasser. My view, one person's view. This community are trespassers. Sorry, where does it say that in the Constitution? That should be our response. We must stop people coming out and saying, this is how I feel, you know, that this community is this, or that community is that. If we, from day one, respected our Constitution and respected our institutions, we will not be facing the problems that we have today. It is all about respecting our Constitution and institutions. So, for me, those people is freedom of speech, though. I don't think we should stop them, okay? People have the freedom to be racist, all right? You can't stop them. What you can stop in law, and it does happen in other jurisdictions, is speech that, racist speech that can lead to violence. That you can restrict. But otherwise, I mean, like in the States, Ku Klux Klan carries on, so, you know, let them speak. But we must challenge their views. We must not let them get away with it. We must put them on the mat and we must say, okay, why do you say this? You know what they're doing? They're rewriting history, by the way. I really wish they'd learned their history before they speak. That would really help, okay? So we must, and for me, the most important thing is this. The leadership must take a stand. That is what is important. The leadership must say this is not acceptable. That's what it will make a difference. Because why do we vote leaders? To keep quiet? No. Do we vote them to keep silent? We vote them in to speak. And they are supposed to speak for us. And that's what we expect them to do. So for me, what's lacking is leadership in religious issues as well as in these racial issues. That's all it will take, I'm telling you. And they'll put a stop to it straight away. But, of course, I have my theory that there is a group who is very extremist, very racist, who is trying to create a divide. But my view, it won't work. After Bersih, I can tell you it won't work. We're too united in major issues. We may not agree on everything, but I can tell you what I saw on Bersih, and you would have seen here in Hong Kong, we saw it in 34 cities around the world. Malaysians who leave the country still love Malaysia, okay, like all of you. How wonderful is that? And that's why I personally believe if we stick to that and we stick to the federal constitution, they will not succeed in dividing us. They will not succeed in creating problems in Malaysia. But It's a journey, it's a struggle that we probably have to face, but I think we will come out well.